Okay, so I was saying that I put these data quality assignments for us to do very quickly. And I did that because, running after the errors and mistakes that could be happening within your data set that you need to use to create your report is one of the things, the tasks very, very important to your role, as a data analyst or as a data professional. Whatever data you have been given, you want to ensure that it is completely cleansed, and there are a few things that you would watch out for in making sure that you clean your data well. I was also saying that normally when we are starting the class afresh, I go over this slide, which most of us saw during those 2 days of data onboarding classes. And most of us on the platform are quite familiar with it, although I've changed it up a bit. So we're going to come back to this so that we take things step by step. But before then, I'm quite excited for us to look at this task because data quality, ensuring high data quality is very key, to your work. It's the corner piece on which the success of your report that you create would hang on. If it's not right, if data quality is not right, then your result that you have produced will be biased. Okay. So the only time we can rely on your work to use it to make decisions in a business is when you have used clean data. And clean data is that your data has not got errors. Okay. So let's start with this very small data set, which I will resend because of our two new joinees. I will resend to the platform so that they can have access to it as well. So I asked one of our AI platforms to create a little task for this class so that we'll use it to practice how we clean data, how we ensure high data quality. Okay, so now one of the qualities that we have as data analysts, if we remember on this slide, this next one here, qualities of a data analyst, attention to details, and it's even well, in no particular order, but this very top one is very important because that is what would ensure that you actually capture every error that is within your data set. Look at all these columns, each of these are columns, and each of the vertical ones are the rows. Each of these columns and rows, I've got like 13 lines, very small data set, and I'm going to be asking us to pay attention and look very well because we are going to be fishing out, that's the word. We need to fish out what errors we think these data sets could be processing. What are the things that are wrong, with this data set? So at the moment, this is not in a tabular form. It's not tabulate. It's not in table form. This is just what we call range in Excel. Range because it's just, all you can do is look at a cell and say cell A1, cell A2. Okay. So it's best to work within a table context. And how we can convert these to a table is we can Control A, pick all of the table. Well, I did Control A. Control A is good for you to use especially if you have very large data set. This is small. We could have just dragged and highlighted the whole. Okay, but Control A would pick everything within a page for you anytime. Okay, then we come to insert. Okay, and under insert, we want to turn this to a table. Okay, so Under insert table, when we come back to that, well, let me cancel that and show you something. Okay, insert, and when I hover on table, look at what is being highlighted here. We're being told in this small dialog box that rather than be coming here to look for the button, the right button to use, you can actually just press Ctrl T. That's what this dialog box is. Say table in bracket equals Ctrl T. So if you don't want to be messing about with under where would I find table, just press Ctrl and T together. T for table, and that will do it for you. But I'm just going to go on and do that. And it brings this dialog box. It says create table with a comma, with a question mark. It's asking you, do you want to create table? Okay, then it's saying, where is the table for your data? And then it's gone on to highlight everything that is within this box. This box, these are data set from that A1, A1, this first cell here, to J13, which is this J here, and the last row there, row 13. So J13, that's what is highlighted here. And there's a small sentence here, my table has headers, okay, because this customer ID, customer name, email, those top ones on row 1, they are the column headers. They are what each of the columns stands for. They are the headings for each of the columns. Okay, so I'm gonna press OK, and we have that changed to that tabular form properly for us. What have I done? Okay, I want to hide this, then we can go back to that. Okay, here we go. All right, so we have this in a tabular form now. I mean, when you are in the table, when I click out of the table, observe something that Power Pivot is the last thing you have here. But if I click anywhere within the table, it brings what you call table design. Okay, and under table design, it's just that you can do more with your table. You can give the table a name. At the moment, it's just giving it a generic name, table 1. If there is a particular name you want to give it, you can type it there, and it will bring it out for you. And a few other things that you can do. You can change the design up. If I want green rather than blue, purple, brown, or orange, and a few other more designs, there that you can decide to go for. Let's go green. Yeah, let's go this green. I love green. Okay, now to the actual work of the day. Okay, we want to see what do we tag errors or mistakes or quote and unquote dirt, because when you are cleaning something, it means it's not right. It means it's dirty. Okay, not dirty, but you know what I mean. Okay, so what are the data quality issues that we can find within this data set? Okay, you can start to go from one column to the other. Okay, remember it says that we have to have attention to details. And for somebody that is paying attention to details, they can't rush it. Okay, some of us are really good at being very observant, very attentive. Some of us, it comes with practice. Okay, so the more we do it, the more we get better at it. Okay, so customer ID. Generally, a column that says ID is not supposed to have duplicates. IDs are supposed to be very unique to everybody. For example, when you are a customer with Tesco, they will generate a unique number for you, your own customer number, which no one else is supposed to be sharing with you. That is what one of the keys that they use to search you out in case there's a query around your order or something. Okay, so this column, customer ID column, is not supposed to have duplicates. So if anything is repeated here, that is an error. So let's keep watching out. Okay. if anything, any of these 1001, 1002 up to the last number here, if any of the numbers is the same, then there is a problem. Okay, now this is a small data set. Okay, so it's easy for us to look through and see. But sometimes you have thousands of rows, tens of thousands of rows. You have to look for easier means of checking for duplicates where you don't expect duplicates to happen. Where you have IDs, we don't expect there to be duplicates. That is repeated data is not supposed to happen. Where with a column that we call ID, that's supposed to be unique. Okay, I mean, it can happen for customer name because people, 2, 3, 4 people can bear the same name. Okay, so it can happen for customer name. It shouldn't be happening for email. Emails are supposed to be very unique as well. Okay, even if you guys have the same name, for work, at work, they should have a way to differentiate between your emails. Okay, and the phone numbers are supposed to be unique as well. Okay, we're not supposed to be sharing the same phone number. Okay, so these are, you can see all the different columns that you would be watching out for. If there's going to be any duplicates, then that is wrong. Already I can see something that's not right with this phone column. Okay, city, I mean, 2, 4, 5 people can come from the same city, so this can be duplicated. That's fine. And again, already I can already see a bit of data quality issue, which I'm not going to mention because this is going to be an interactive class. We are all going to do it together. Okay, other ID. Okay, other ID. This may be a bit technical, okay, because is it supposed to be unique? It depends on what is actually happening, okay. In this case, I am thinking, I'm believing that it's supposed to be unique for this data set, okay. Then other dates, okay, are all these in are all these in date format, in proper date format or not? Okay, products, quantity, and then price. Okay, so let's go. Let's all have a look at customer ID. Do we notice if there is any repeated number from row 2 to row 13 at all? We can unmute to answer.
You gave us the answer by saying repeated.
Okay, so which is repeated?
Sarah.
1002.
1002 is repeated. Okay, so I see it there. Okay, and I see it here as well. Perfect. Any other one? It looks like that's the only one.
For now, that's the only one.
For now, okay, all right, okay. So, but what if it's not so easy, like you've got tens of thousands of rows and it's not so easy to pick everything out just by looking? We are working within Excel. How would you have tried to see if there's any duplicates? Let's check our Excel knowledge. You know, how would you normally check if there is duplicate in Excel? I'm going to see, let me quickly show us this. Sometimes filter, okay. If Oluwa said we should filter. How are we gonna do that? How are we meant to be filtering, doing the filtering? Oh yeah. Oh, it looks like you are not able to unmute. I would have loved for you to show us how the use of filter would help out, you know. But in Excel, look, if I bring my cursor here and I pick, you see, okay, that's fine. You show us another time when you are available. But yeah, thanks very much for the answer. Okay. So you see, when I came all the way to the top and picked, I picked everything, even outside the table. But there is a trick. Sometimes if you want to pick just within the table, there is a way that you bring your cursor a bit like that down. There's a difference between here. You see, when I brought it to the top of A was highlighted and I picked everything. But I don't want to pick everything. I only want to pick just the table. So I bring it down a little and I do that. And it picks only the table, only the rows that are within the table and not outside the table. And that's important to whatever sometimes that you may want to achieve. Okay. Now, I believe it's under home. Let's check under home. Home and then conditional formatting. Okay. We can highlight cells. Okay. We can highlight cells and say, highlight duplicate values for us. Okay. See, it's highlighted the duplicate values. Let me put okay for there for now. You see, it's picked out the duplicate values. And if there were more rows, easily it would pick it out. Okay. And now, before you decide to just take it out, you have to look through each of the columns to be very sure that it's the same person. So let me completely highlight the two rows that are involved. And then let me use the pink, more colors. Let's use the pink. Okay. And then this row as well. Okay, just to make it more visual for us, okay? So I see 100 to 1002, Sarah Ahmed. I see they are the same emails, okay? I see the same phone number, the same city, the same order ID. Oh, different order ID, but it's the same persons. Okay, different order ID. So they ordered, they made an order where the order ID was recorded as 5002, but they made another order where the order was recorded as 5005. Okay, so that starts to change our perspective on how we want to treat, this table. Okay, I'll carry on. Order dates. The first order was done on 12th of January 2024, but that second order was 15th of January 2024. That explains to us why they are recorded twice. Do you understand now? Okay. Monitor. The product they bought for the first order was monitor and then laptop. Okay. They bought 2 quantities before. The other one, they bought 1. And the price, of course, are those 2 numbers there. Okay. Now, how you treat this part, this duplicates value of a thing, depends on what table you are working with. Now that we have seen that this is an orders table, it's not compulsory for customer ID to be unique anymore. Only because this is an orders table. If this was a customer's table, then there would be need for it to be for the customer ID to be very unique. Okay. So I'm not going to take that out. Okay. And I'm going to name this table under table design. Let's name it orders. That's the name of the table. It's an orders table. Okay, let's see if that's still okay. That changed it for us. Okay, and we can change here as well the name of the table to be orders. Okay, so now the name of the table, understanding the data would help you again to know what you are doing with the data quality issues that might be there. Okay, like I said, if this was a customer's table, each customer on a customer's table, they are expected to appear just once. But when we now get to the orders table, because a customer can order, put in orders many times, that's the reason why they can appear, their ID can appear as many times as possible. And that's the reason for the duplicate. Okay, so the duplicate values we find here, we are not going to remove because it is correct. And it is correct because, see, other ID is different. You know, had it been that the other ID was the same, 5002, 5002, and the products were the same, monitor, you know, and the quantity was the same, and everything on that row was the same, then we will treat those two rows, not just the column, those two rows as duplicates, and we will remove one of the rows. But because not every information on the row is the same, so it would be wrong to say that these two are duplicated. They are not. Okay, they are not exactly all the same. If we put this in a sentence now, we'll be saying that for the row 3, we'll be saying Sarah Ahmed with email this and phone number this, who lives in Birmingham, ordered monitor on the 12th of January 2024, ordered 2 quantities at this price. That's the first sentence. The second sentence would be Sarah Ahmed with that email and that phone number, lives in Birmingham, made an order of laptop. You see that those are 2 different scenarios now. At first, they ordered monitor. Second time, they ordered laptop. So that is why those 2 rows are not duplicate rows. Okay, they are not duplicate rows, so we are not taking those out. That is not a data quality issue, basically. Okay, so I'll take those colors out. Okay, where's my undo button? Let me just Control Z a few steps. Okay. To undo, I couldn't find my, okay, there it is. That's my undo button. So I just Control Z a few times to remove all the last few steps that I had done. Okay. So for email, which means for email, there's definitely a duplicate value for Sarah Ahmed. We've seen that already. Okay. Phone number, we see for Michael Lee. Okay, phone number, what's happening here? Okay, I shouldn't even have said, I shouldn't have told you. Okay, we have a missing value here. Okay, we have a missing. Now, the assignment was for us to list out all the data quality issues that we can find within this data set. Okay, so far the only data quality issue I am with my Koro eyes seeing is that we are missing phone number for Michael Lee. Okay. We are missing for city. We are missing.
Excuse me, Shodi.
Yes.
I want to take you back to the email column. The email column, some of them are invalid, incomplete address.
Thank you. Okay.
That is, let's see, Tommy White. There's nothing like tomwhite@email.com.
Okay. Tom White. So it says Tom.White.
Yes, yes, something like that. Like,
okay.
Let's see.
That's correct.
No, there's one there that I saw.
Yeah, it's that one. This is David.
Where is that one? I can't see it again. Yes, there's no .com there.
There's no .com. That's the one that's
you see, I missed it. You see, David.O'Brien@email, and that's it. You see, it's so easy. That is why being very attentive to details is very important. It's so easy to just go on until you get to a point where you are building a report. You now find sometimes you never even find out, and you may just be presenting and only to find out that you didn't correct. So that is one to correct. Okay, so I'm going to rather than correct, I'm going to be just highlighting anywhere that there is error. Maybe I'll paint them red. Okay, so there is an error there. Is there more for email? Do we think there's more?
Michael, I don't know if that would be an error because the way the company has written the names is first name and second name. But Michael has been written as M. Lee.
Yes,
So
that's inconsistency.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
They are all supposed to come out in the same format. Why is others are Sarah dot first name dot second name?
The second name, yeah.
Yeah, and then they have gone on to just put M. So that needs to be queried. Good. Is there more?
No, that's all I found.
Okay. Now, what is the one data quality issue that could be in these names that we can't see with our naked eyes until we check?
Until we check.
Yes.
What, the Sarah, is it that one? Or we've already said that was a duplicate, isn't
it? No, the Sarah is correct.
Yes.
But it's the extra spaces, the trailing spaces. Okay. That you see how I picked John Smith and checked in the formula bar.
Yes.
Okay. So there's no extra space anywhere. That is correct.
Yeah.
Sarah Ahmed, there's no extra space.
Okay.
Yeah. And Michael Lee, if we check here, there's no, sometimes the extra space might be in the middle or at the start.
The beginning, okay.
So, yeah, so you need to be sure that it's not at the middle, it's not at the beginning or at the end, okay? And sometimes how you can also check is maybe look through here, okay? You know how we have two ceramides?
Yeah.
When you look through here, you should be seeing only one ceramide. Okay. So if you now start seeing two of them within this box, because this box is supposed to bring unique values, then you will know that one of them has got something going on with it. Okay. What we also need to watch out for is, like you found out here, inconsistencies, like maybe they use all through small letter on one row, all through capital letter on another row, and then they now mix on another row. Okay, so everyone is supposed to be appearing the same way. I think they are fine here. Okay.
Excuse me, Eshodi.
Yes, ma'am.
It's like I've noticed something again. I'm not sure whether it's right, but let me just say it out. 1010 Anna Mule is a special character issue. The way they spelled the MU, whatever.
You are a proper data person.
It's a lie.
You are correct.
That's
because
my HOD taught me eagle eyes.
See the spelling formula here.
Yeah,
see the
special character issue.
That character at the top.
That character at the top, but they could just have done it as MULL.
Yeah,
not
above
M-E.
MUE. There's an E before the L, the double L in the email.
Yes, and there's no E
before. Those two stops, those two dots on the U.
Yeah, are they the ones representing the E? Is that what we're saying?
No.
They combine it with a special character.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's not occurring in the email. So that needs to be looked at. And these are things we flag out to HR. Because it's HR that will be giving emails. Okay, and they make mistakes. And when we find these mistakes, we quickly let them know to correct. Because the more correct the data is from the database, the easier your job is. Not that it's you that will now be running after unnecessary running afters. You know, it makes your job easier when you flag it to them, raise a ticket where it is necessary. Please change this, or please do this, or please do that. Most of the time, the owners of the name of the email would have corrected them anyway, you know, but sometimes they don't. And it falls on us to do just for some consistencies to happen there. Okay. So is there more so far, or we are fine?
I think we are fine on that column.
Okay.
On the phone column, there is an issue as well.
Okay.
Some of them are not up to 10 digits.
Those are some of them are
Some of them are not, some of them are not up to 10 digits. Like the one that's ended with 55. I think they are 9 numbers.
Okay, the one, this one
Benny.
again. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it's 10.
There is one that is 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. They look.
I just
They
shake my glasses. Emma no.
they look well lined up here. Let's see if we. Okay. It looks to me like they all contain.
Okay.
They say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So it will, if there was one that was 9, we won't have a straight line.
Okay.
With each one of them. Anyone that's not up to the rest would be, yeah. So looks like that one is fine. The only thing is, apart from these two that we are expecting the numbers to be the same, Sarah Ahmed, the phone number for both lines for Sarah Ahmed should be the same. Okay. Are the rest also like that, or are we having people sharing phone numbers? Okay. It's important to try and capture that. But apart from that, I think we are fine on this. So we have seen inconsistencies. We have seen gap in data, that is missing data. Okay. London, Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds, Birmingham. Okay. So as we can see that we are missing city for this person. So, I mean, it's all we would do for this missing data is just to contact maybe the person themselves or check with the right department to get those data and just put it in. Okay. But again, it's always good for them to correct it for us from the database. Now let's drop down and make sure that these are not repeated because they have extra space. Okay, none of them is repeat. That's one way to know. Had it been that when we open here, we have 2 Birminghams or 2 Leeds, then we will know that one of them has got extra space that we need to remove. Okay, that's one way to quickly capture where you need to trim like you are trimming something. That's the function we use to remove any extra space that is at the beginning or at the end of a text. Okay.
Sorry, before you move to the next column, what
Yes.
about the London that has capital and small?
Thank you.
Sensitive.
Yeah, in fact, you are better at this than far better at this than me. Yes, those two are not right.
When they are not the same, when it's not in capital, it's always annoying.
Yeah, I should have. I mean, that should have. Anyway, it should have.
It's because it's the same spelling. It's the same spelling anyway, so it might not pick it.
Yeah,
it's just, it's just beautifying the data that the L.
Okay, so let me.
Well, we can change it ourselves.
Yes, we'll change all this. We'll correct, correct them ourselves. Anyway, we can't correct the emails ourselves because we won't give email to people that is not their email. Those will be corrected by in the system. Of course, we'll only correct this by getting the actual phone number from the person. But things like London, appearing exactly the same way as the other one, we will correct that ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll just use uppercase. We want everything here to be properly proper. Proper is the one where every word starts with a capital letter. So none will be starting with a small letter. Okay. Yeah. And the other problem we have here is that space, as well. Okay. We're doing well. Other ID. Now, this is where we are expecting unique values. Each of these orders are supposed to be unique. Are they all unique? Because this is these are orders table. 5,001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They are unique. They are unique. So, and if we want to check if they have extra spaces, we can check here, but I don't think that's applicable in this case, actually.
No, they're all the same. They're all
So
unique.
those are fine. Dates. So date is one of those data types that gives one trouble if it's not properly corrected. Yes. So sometimes within the data, as you go along, some people, especially if the data is input in like manually input, okay. You see this 12/01/2024. Then you now come down and see 12/space/01. You see, so they start putting things where they are not supposed to be, and the tool you are using will not want to accept that it's a date because it's not properly, appearing as a date. Sometimes by human mistake, human error, some of these slashes are doubled up, without unintentionally doubled up, and they need to be corrected. Okay, but these looks fine to me. I don't think we have any issues with the date. Okay. And for products, the only problem we could have is if we have any trailing spaces. I believe it's only we can't capture it. But most of these texts would have some trailing spaces that would need to be okay. Let me do the smart thing, okay? We have keyboard, laptop, monitor, mouse, and none of them is repeated. That tells me we are fine. And we may not be fine if the laptop, all of them are all having trailing spaces. It will not repeat them. It's only when one is having trailing space and the other isn't that it would repeat them within this box. Okay, so what I do, and because I work mostly with Power BI, I just go on and trim all the text. I just go on and just click trim all the text. Sometimes the numbers when they are still in text format, I quickly trim throughout, clean throughout, and then I start the rest. And that way I know that I'm working with data that's not having any trailing spaces issues. But yeah, then we have the quantities. Did anybody capture this? Because I was almost going to say quantity is fine, but
-1.
is this possible? So something quantity -1 when it's not basic.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's an error there. And then the price, missing price.
One does not have price also.
We have missing price. Okay, so and if we look through, we are fine. Okay, the only other thing, that we will be expected to do right with is the data type. We're almost rounding up, by the way. The data type for each of these columns, we want to ensure that they are right. Okay, so you click on each of the column, and for customer ID, it's is it general you want to call it, or is it text? If I come down with the arrow, we have different data types. So we need to assign the different data types to each one. Okay, I think I'll leave customer ID as general. We can leave a name. Why is this one over full screen? Oh no, I don't want full screen. We need okay, there we go. We need that voice going on top. Okay. This is better to work with. All right, and this is too wide. All right, so customer, we can leave the name as general. If you want, you can just say text. Okay, text is all right to use. Where is text here? Yeah, we can decide that is a text field. You can decide that this is a text field as well, or general. If you leave, so there are some data tag or some columns that if you leave them as general, it doesn't affect what you are doing. Even phone number, you can leave it as general. If you want city, text, general, it doesn't matter. If you just want to be really specific, just put text, okay? Now your order ID, these look like they are numbers, but they are not numbers that you can do mathematics on because they are IDs. The worst or the best mathematics you can do on order ID, because they are unique, is you can count them, okay? So sometimes some people use order ID as texts because they don't want any maths happening with them apart from counting it. So if you want, you can leave it at, you can put it general or text, okay? As long as, and sometimes because it's number, you can leave it as number, but just know that you can't add somebody's ID to another ID, to another's ID because they appear as numbers. So to be on the safer side, for IDs, I use general or text, basically. So I'll prefer ID to be text. Okay, now your most serious data types that you need to take seriously are your dates and your numbers. Numbers need to be appearing as numbers. Dates needs to be seen as date. Now, dates being general is not acceptable. So we look for, I'm used to short date, but you can do long dates if you want. Okay, so short date, and that is now being seen as date. So any date function I use, it will capture it well. Okay, general or text for this. Again, this one, number, quantity is there. That has to be numbers because we're going to be doing maybe average quantity, maybe total quantity. Those are mathematical in nature. So I'll put number for this. You can decide to remove the decimal point if you don't want it. And for price, I believe there is a currency, and we can put currency, depends on what currency. If it's dollars, you can change it. You can change that to whatever at the moment we're on pounds. You can use dollars or euro or whichever one it is for you. For this quantity, in case decimal is not necessary, you can remove those decimals here and just, have that. And that is how you carefully and patiently look through your data set. And you see, as you look through it, you find that you even understand this more, and which is part of what you need for your work. You need to understand the data, okay? We didn't necessarily sit down to study this data. We just went on to start correcting it. But after so much corrections going to and fro, we can see that this is an orders table, orders that have been made by customers from different cities within the UK have been recorded here with the quantities and the price. And these are mostly IT products that have been sold. Okay, that is you trying to put your data or your data set in one sentence, what it is about. This is a data set of an IT sales company. They are selling laptops, monitors, and IT related stuffs, and they have recorded orders made by their customers in terms of money and quantities and dates. Okay, so tonight we've dealt with, how you deal with data quality issues in your data set. Okay, in the process, we have understood our data, and those are key points in this data analytics life cycle. When the life cycle of data analytics, the process. This thing has grown up. This is where I'm going. We saw this in class during our onboarding class. We've seen it before. Data analytics life cycle. Okay, the objective. We didn't deal with any objective today because we are not really necessarily using that data to create report. We were just dealing with data cleaning. data cleaning. And in the process of cleaning the data, we understood it more. Okay, so these two steps aid each other and they take time. We don't have to rush through them. And well done to all of us for participating in that. One more thing that I would implore us to do with this short data set now, okay, for tomorrow, I will say that let's make the corrections. Okay, for example, Emily, let's make it go, let's correct it in line with the rest. And Anna Muller as well, and David O'Brien. Okay, whatever corrections needs to be done, let's correct it. London, you can fill anything in the missing values, okay? Whatever 10 digits number you want to put here, just make sure it starts with 7-1, like the rest. Okay, 7-1 and whatever you want to put at the back of it. Let's correct London. Let's put any UK city, not Lagos, any UK city here so that we can, that goes in line. This -1, let's take away the minus. Okay, there's a missing price here. Let's put a reasonable price there. Okay, and that's because we are going to try and create a small report very quickly tomorrow with it. Okay, but I want us to make those corrections before we come to class. We are going to load this short thing into Power BI very quickly and see what insights we'll be getting from it. Do we have any questions at all?
Sister Nikki, if this was manually entered and that date, the one person entered it as day, month, and year, while the other person entered it as year, month, and date, would it pick it up?
No, it would expect all of it all of the dates on that column to be in the same format.
Yeah.
I know Americans use month, date, year. We use day, month, and that can be really annoying. Okay,
Yes.
so we would want you to enforce correction. Yeah. And decide which locale it is that you want to use, it the American format or the UK format that you want to use, all through.
Yeah, so it's the person that was manually entering it made an error. Okay, no, so for the drop down, maybe it gives you the option to pick the date and the month and year, so then it gives you that figure. But if the person was to go and enter and actually then entered 01/31/2024 rather than 31/01/24,
yeah,
would it pick it up?
It depends on the tool. I don't think Excel would do anything with it the way we have Excel now. But what I've seen with Power BI is within the workspace, it just automatically just loads it.
Yes.
It is an American date. But when I plug Power BI desktop into it, sometimes it corrects it, sometimes it doesn't. When it corrects, it's fine. When it does it, I find myself correcting it manually. Yes. Okay, I could be using example, pick from example. You know that function in Excel where you train the data to see the correction you are making.
Yeah.
For the rest of them. If we can do that, if not, I will need to rearrange, and that happens a lot. But sometimes it sees it, sometimes it doesn't see it, and you just pray that it sees it and corrects it for you so that it doesn't waste your time.
Yeah.
You have to work for your money that day. Looks like I've got something in the chart. Okay, we've seen that already before. We're not normally this late in class, by the way, people. So apologies that we're spending this long time. Normally we aim at maybe 30 minutes, but again, we know 30 minutes is not always enough. I'm trying to stop sharing. Where is my stop share? No, not stop sharing. Pause recording. Yeah.